Good morning. Today is November 11th. It is 11:11, so we're starting on a good note. October was not my month. It was not my month. I am sad that it wasn't my month because it's my favorite month of the year, but as a whole, it was just not good. So, what I'm thinking for today is I finally have a full day off because today's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. And I'm just gonna do kind of a November reset. I just want to start fresh. I don't know. I just need a fresh start, a clean slate. I was gonna have this video be like trying to enjoy my October, but in November, like doing all the October things, but this time in November, just because I couldn't really do them last month. But I don't want to live like in the past in that way. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, I've just decided it's just going to be a November reset, so I have some stuff on the agenda today. It's about 10 a.m. right now, by the way, so I feel like I should be able to get most of this done. Number one, I just want to clean up my area. It's not too bad right now, but I just need to put some stuff in different rooms and just tidy up a little bit. Number two is start and finish a book. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. Number three is finish the show Grotesquerie. I have 3 episodes left. I had no time in October to watch it, and I'm dying to know what happened. Well, I wasn't like dying enough to watch it before, but I'm dying now to watch it, and I want to finish that today because it's been in the back of my mind, and I want to know. Okay, anyways, I also want to scrapbook because I've collected a lot of junk journal stuff over the past month and a half or so, and I just haven't had time to put it in my scrapbook, so want to do that today. Possibly bake something. That's kind of like, if I don't get to everything, that's the one that's going to get booted. You know what I mean? I do have some homework I need to do. And then that's it. That's my outline of the day. It's kind of a slow, rainy morning right now. It's not raining too hard now, but I want to talk about books for a minute. I did get quite a few books over October, or not quite a few over October. So I want to give you a little book haul, and then what I've been reading, and then what I want to read today. I think I'm going to start with what I've been reading. I think the last video I posted, I had talked about the fact that I was reading The Secret History. I have not finished it. I did no reading in October. I did not finish a single book. I barely even, continued reading The Secret History, which is just depressing, but it goes to show how October was for me, because I'm not a person that just doesn't read. I'm pretty much always reading, so I still have a little over half, a lot over half actually, but I can get through this no problem. I think if I sit down and do it, I can do it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna work on that a little bit today, but that's not my main priority. I've also been reading the Iliad, which is for one of my classes. We actually already finished our unit on the Iliad, but I felt like we moved so fast through it that I couldn't enjoy the book at all. So when I bought my actual text of it for class, I was like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna read it, at least the good chapters, the good books, because it's broken up by books in one giant book. So I'm back in my Achilles and Patroclus phase. it's bad. I love them so much. My hyperfixation has been this one painting by I think his name is Nikolai Guy. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. But and it's called Achilles Lamenting Patroclus, and I think about it every day. I love that painting so much. Anyways, that's beside the point. So those are the 2 that I've technically been reading. I did also start Dracula at the beginning of October. Got maybe 60 or 70 pages in, and just didn't have time to read, didn't have motivation to read, so I just was like, I can't do that anymore. So then I'm gonna give you a tiny book haul. Like I said, I got a couple over October, but not anything crazy. Number 1, I finally bought a copy of Babel. I was thinking about starting this one today, but honestly, I just want to start a book that I can finish in one day, you know what I mean? And also, I don't want my whole day to be taken up by reading, because I have other things I want to do. So I'm gonna save Babel, but I'm thinking about reading it very soon, probably in November. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this book. I know it's gonna be part of the Secret History, If We Were Villains, Babel Dead Poet Society, I think people kind of group that one in there. Okay, and then the second book I got is Eat the World by Miss Marina Diamandis, which, if you didn't know, she is Marina and the Diamonds, but now it's just Marina. But it's a signed copy. I am such a sucker for signed things, if you haven't been able to tell by now. Yeah, the design of this book is so cool. I am excited to see if I like her writing in this way, because it did kind of remind me of Lana Del Rey's poem book that I did not like. Loved the aesthetic, loved the way that it had been put together, but everything just sounded so forced and cheesy, and I just think that her writing is better in song form. So anyways, I'm excited to read this. Love that I got a signed copy. And then the last one is Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley, which I actually won in a Storygraph giveaway. Crazy. I always enter all of the Storygraph giveaways. I never win anything. And I finally won something, and guess what? It's about music. Are you kidding me? Like, of all the books I could have won, this sounds like the most interesting one that I could, like, most up my alley, if that makes sense. It's set in the 2000s in Berkeley in fall of 2000. Even better. And it's just about love, and, like, apparently it's very indie sleazy, which is funny because I posted that I won this on the giveaway on my Instagram, and I tagged the author, and she like responded to my story, and she said we both follow it, because it says when you DM someone on Instagram, like, who you have in common, like who you both follow, and she was like, we both follow indie sleaze, so I know you're gonna love it. And I was like, if that's the vibe of this book, yes, I am going to love it. So really pumped to read this. It's not technically released until February 25th, so I get an early copy. So I'm really excited to read that one. I think it's about 300 pages. 275, so that's a pretty easy breezy read. That's not too bad. And then the book I kind of had in my mind that I wanted to read today is Bear by Marian Engel. It's pretty short. It's a little over 100 pages. I just want to be able to get through something today. You know, I want to have that sense of accomplishment that I finally finished a book, so that's kind of where I'm at. I think I'm gonna read this. I'll read you the synopsis. Lou is burying herself in the decayed fragments of other people's lives as part of her job at a historical institute, when one day she is assigned to cataloging an eccentric 19th century colonel's island library in northern Ontario. Forced into the outside world, Lou begins a journey of liberation and self-discovery through her encounter with the island's sole other inhabitant, a bear. It just looks really fascinating. I love things about jobs about history. Like, I love reading about people that are working in with books or with different, I don't know. My friend gave me that book. But yeah, I'm excited to read it. It looks good. So I think that's kind of my moment. That's what I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna make some hot chocolate because I'm really in the mood, and we have so much hot chocolate. I bought like a big tub of it last year because the store was all out of the little packets, and then my mom, I think she forgot it was in there because she bought more of the little packets. So we have a lot of hot chocolate, so gotta start drinking it. I gotta get on it. So anyways, that's the agenda right now. I'm just gonna have a chill day. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna get some things done. I want to feel accomplished going to sleep tonight. I want to sleep tight knowing that I did something with my time. So yeah. Little reading update. I am 68 pages into Bear, and I'm loving it so far. It's like cabin core. I don't really feel like this is an accurate way to describe it, but it's very like old. I'm not putting this into words very well. Kind of like Dark Academia, but more of a like woodsy historical side of it, because I read the synopsis, but it's basically about this woman that is some kind of historian, and she does like cataloging for a museum, and she gets assigned to go out to this cabin on an island, and catalog all of this really old colonel's library, like all of his books and stuff. But there's also a bear on this island, so her and the bear so far are kind of becoming friends, and she's working and cataloging. And it's honestly reminding me of the book Death in Her Hands by Ottessa Moshfegh a little bit, but not in a bad way, because I did not like that book, but I'm loving this book so far. It's Death in Her Hands was like what I left being like, what was the point of that? I took nothing away. It was so just not my favorite, which is a bummer because I love Ottessa Moshfegh. But anyways, that's how I'm feeling about Bear right now. It's very good. I'm definitely going to finish it today. I'm just going to put it down for now because I want to watch Grotesquerie and I want to scrapbook. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm so excited to finish Grotesquerie. I'm so excited. Okay, anyways, that's my update. Hello, lovely people. It's quite a bit later now. It's 5:30ish. I finished my scrapbooking. I ate dinner, and I also finished Grotesquerie, the show, which I want to talk about for a minute. If you don't know what it is or haven't heard about it, it's a show that was created by Ryan Murphy, who did American Horror Story, and it's kind of a sort of murder mystery that's a very vague category to put it into. But you basically follow this detective named Lois, as she comes across these insane, crazy, gory, disgusting murders. Yeah, that's the basic premise. I don't want to spoil anything. No spoilers here. But I just finished season 1. And the first 6 episodes, I felt like we're kind of going downhill. I was like, where are we going with this? Don't know how I feel about it. So I was starting to lose interest, or I just wasn't as invested. I wasn't losing interest, but I wasn't feeling the pull to be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? My friend also watches the show, and we were kind of theorizing about what the plot twist would be, because we felt like there was one coming, because it's Ryan Murphy, obviously. And And mine was like pretty close to what actually happened. I was proud of myself. So I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to say what it was. But I was very close with my prediction. So I'm proud of myself for that. And then after episode 7, it got interesting again. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm here. I'm watching. I'm interested. I'm invested. Nicholas Alexander Chavez. He is so fine. That man is so fine. Anyways, he plays the priest in the first bit of the show. Moment of silence for him because he is just so beautiful. Anyways, he is the plot. I fear he is the plot. I fear it. Anyways, it was just really good. I haven't watched a show in so long. Like, I'm not a show person these days. I usually just watch movies, and I also just didn't consume much media at all over October other than music. Hardly watched any movies, hardly watched any TV. It's just a long month, you know? I wasn't feeling it, so it was nice to have something to be invested in again for once. So yeah, grotesquerie was great. So my plan for the rest of the evening, now that it's almost completely dark outside, is to number 1 finish Bear. That's my main priority. I don't have that much left. I think maybe like 50 pages or something. So easy peasy, can finish that. Then I'm gonna do some homework because I have an assignment due tonight at 11:59. So gotta do that. But I'm gonna make my room all cozy. I'm gonna light some candles, turn on all my mood lighting, which a little bit of it is on right now. But I'm gonna turn the rest of my lamps on and all that. We're gonna have a nice cozy evening. Probably make some tea. I don't know what I'm gonna do after my homework, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Hasta la vista. Hello. It's a lot later now. I think it's like 8:30-ish. We're gonna talk about Bear. This book went in a direction that I did not see coming at all. And if you've read it, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but with no spoilers, I won't say any spoilers. It did ruin it a little bit because I feel like it was going in a really good direction, or like a direction that I enjoyed. Loved the aesthetics, loved the whole like historical, I don't know, just the academia side of it. I loved that so much, especially based in the 70s, a woman doing a job like this. But then literally right where I left off from before when I'd read it this morning was pretty much right where the crazy stuff started to happen. And it really just jumped right into it, like very didn't hold back at all. So, and as much as I left feeling yucky about it and gross about what happened, some part of me understands the point that Engel was trying to make with this, and just like kind of a reflection of how women were seen not only in her profession but also at that time in the 70s when it's based. I think it's the 70s at least. And just this distinct loneliness that I think a lot of women and men feel, but like I said, particularly in her profession and at that time and the context of her life, I understand her loneliness. I get that that's where it comes from, but I do think it took it a little far. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was a good read. It was a short read. I was engaged the whole time. I think I gave it 4 stars, which I know it sounds like I don't like it, but I do. I did enjoy it. And like I said, the more I thought about it, the more I understood where she was coming from. I don't know. It's kind of a weird dichotomy, like figuring out the middle ground on that. So this book, honestly, I might even change my review to a 3.5. I feel like 4 stars is a little high. Low key. But anyways, I'm going to put it with, I have my books that I've read organized in a very specific way. I have my favorites shelf, which is what my camera is leaning on. I have my second tier favorites shelf, and then I have a stack of books that I've read that I don't feel like belong on any favorites, but I read them and I enjoyed them, and I'm going to keep my copy of them. So I'm going to put Bear in that stack, the last one. Just for fun, I'll show you what's in it. Howl. I unfortunately only connected with like one poem in that book. Daisy Jones and the Six. Also good, just not a huge fan of that genre particularly. Sweet Bitter. I've talked about that in another video. Call Me By Your Name. Hated the book, loved the movie. Bluebeard's Castle. Love Annabella to death. But this book was not it. I'm sorry. She should stay as a director, not a writer. But I love Annabella. And Lana Del Rey's poem book, which I was also talking about earlier. So I'm going to add Bear to that stack, and I feel like that's a good place for it. It's not a stack of books that I did not like. Like, I read them and I enjoyed them, but I probably won't ever pick them up again. I don't see myself rereading any of them, but I'm going to keep my copies. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, also a little more book-related news that I thought about just now. I forgot I got this, and I should have shown it when I did my book haul earlier, but I have been looking for a hardcover copy of The Catcher in the Rye for probably 2 years now. And they're not like super hard to find, but they're hard to find at a good price. They're always like $30 or $40, and I'm just not willing to pay that for The Catcher in the Rye. Sorry. But I was on Pango last month, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to look and see if there's any hardcovers for a decent price. And this bad boy popped up for $10, and I was one happy camper. It is a little faded at the top, as you can see, but I honestly don't even care because the inside is so nice. I love not only the font size, but just the way that the pages are laid out. Like, there's not a ton, it's not like chunky text, you know? it's just more appealing to me, I guess. But anyways, I'm so happy about this. Like I said, I've been looking for probably 2 years now, because The Catcher in the Rye has been one of my favorite books for a long time. And then the last book thing I wanted to share was I put together this stack of vampire books, and I just wanted to show it. I just knocked my phone down, so I had to reset that up. I wanted to read all of these in October, but like I said, did not get around to any of them. So, Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice, number 1. Dracula, which I did start, but did not finish, number 2. Carmilla, which I have read, didn't love it, but loved the energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Penguin Book of Vampire Stories. I really wanted to read this. I've had it for like a year and a half or 2 years now, and I just still haven't read it. But it is so cool. It's so cool. And then lastly, the Vampire Book. This massive encyclopedia of vampire knowledge. Are you kidding me? There's stuff about like music and vampire culture, and like modern day, just how people perceive vampirism, and also like how it's been perceived historically. So it talks about pretty much all of those books, and like examines like homoeroticism and all of these different angles about vampirism that are very popular. I've read through some chapters, but it's a thick book. So I've just been kind of skimming mostly, but it's fun to pick up every once in a while and just turn to a random page. Be like, I like this. Anyways, I just wanted to show those since I didn't get to read them in October. I honestly am not even going to save them for next October. I'll probably continue to like read them throughout the rest of this year and next year, because it's always vampire season, honestly. So anyways, those are my book updates. As for the rest of the night, I don't know what I want to do. I did my homework. I think I am going to wake up early tomorrow, though, and do a little more work. But tonight, I just want to enjoy my night. I just don't know what I want to do. So many options. It's only 8:30. If I can be in bed by midnight, I'll be happy. So I have several hours. I'm thinking, honestly, just bed rot for like an hour. Reward myself for doing my homework. And then, I don't know, maybe watch a movie? Okay, wait. This is so funny. So the homework I had to do was like a journal write thing about, like a topic that we have to choose for our final papers for my humanities class. And this is the class that we read the Iliad in. And it said in the prompt that you could choose anything from the text that we've read. And so I chose the Iliad. And I'm going to do my essay on Achilles and Patroclus, which is funny because I was literally talking about this earlier. Obviously I can't talk about them as lovers because there's not conclusive evidence of that actually in the Iliad, even though literally Plato has talked about it. Good sir, come on. Anyways, I'm just gonna examine their relationship from like the perspective of them being friends, and like I think that when Iliad spoilers. If you haven't read the Iliad spoilers incoming. But I think one of the things I really want to look into is how when Patroclus dies, Achilles' like full potential of rage is unlocked. Like the whole thing of the Iliad is like Achilles' rage. It's all just Achilles being whiny and petty and mad and angry. I can't. Okay, you know what? I used to be Team Achilles. I'm not anymore after reading it, because I have read Song of Achilles. I think I talked about that in another video. Wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy it. But anyways, no longer Team Achilles. What was I saying? Oh, how when Patroclus dies, the full potential of his rage is unlocked, and it's no longer like petty rage. It's red hot, undefeatable, you came for my man, I'm gonna kill you kind of thing, you know, because that's literally what he does to Hector, and then he just completely destroys Hector's body. Even though the gods are like protecting his physical form, Achilles just keeps on doing bad stuff to this poor guy's dead body. Achilles, my dude, OMG, he took it really far. But like, that's what makes me think they were lovers, because like I love my best friend, but if something like that happened to her, I don't know if I would, like, hunt down her murderer and kill that person with my with my bare hands, and then drag them around in my chariot and continue to defile their body. Like, I would not go that far. You know what I mean? Not that I wouldn't be angry at the person if theoretically someone murdered my best friend. But do you know what I'm saying? I did not mean to go on this rant. But anyways, I do kind of want to look into that. Also, can we talk about... Oh, it just makes me so angry. Okay, how... Achilles is all, I don't want to go to war. I'm not going to go back to war when Patroclus is literally begging him, like, come back to war, we need you. And Achilles is like, no thanks. And then Patroclus is like, well, if you're not going to go, then can I wear your armor and go back out into war myself? And Achilles is like, yeah, sure. And then Patroclus dies in the war. Ugh. It just makes me so mad. Okay, anyways, Iliad rant is over. Iliad rant over. I need to settle down. Okay. I'm gonna go about my night now.